What's up, witches? I'm reporting to you live from the foothills of Mount Hood, Oregon. I wasn't planning on filming any videos while I was out here on vacation, but I thought this would be a great opportunity to make a little video about land spirits, or Landvaettir as they're known in Norse or like northern paganism. Because, let me tell you, this land is chock full of spirits, you guys. So I thought I would just take you around and show you some cool little spots on this little piece of property that we're staying at for a few days. We actually leave tomorrow to go stay at the coast for the next 2 days, but we have a great little cabin here near Mount Hood, and we did some hiking today, so I'll also show you guys some footage from that in this video. My husband and I were kind of just talking a lot today about land spirits as we were hiking, and about the ones that we feel here where we're staying. So I thought I would sit down and film a video and chat with you guys about it as well. So, land spirits. Let me tell you about them. Well, what I really had been discussing with my husband today, and something that we had just kind of noticed in our short time in the community of other pagans, is that while we are there specifically to honor the Norse, Germanic, northern gods, specifically mostly a focus on, Aesir and Vanir, but it's a pretty open, eclectic group, so if people want to kind of do their own thing to various other deities that they work with, it's really nice to have a more inclusive community where people can do that too. But the other thing that I had kind of noticed is that a lot of pagans and pagans that I've met specifically, while yes, some of them may work closely with specific northern deities, for the most part, the thing that we all seem to share in common, above all else, is a reverence for nature. And I know that's definitely what really brought me to this path, is having a spiritual connection and tie to nature. I've just always felt that it's a really spiritually charged place. And yeah, definitely kind of what I spoke about in my video about like 1 year as a Norse pagan, where being outside in nature is definitely my sanctuary and place where I can go to just ground myself and get rid of all my anxieties. And this land out here in Oregon is really, really good for that, and I'll tell you why as soon as I can find somewhere to set this camera down, because I didn't bring my tripod and my arm is getting really tired. There we go. Who needs a tripod when you have a tree stump? Being here, one thing that I've noticed about this land compared to where I live in the smack dab in the middle of Illinois, which is in the plains, but not only that, it's all farmland. I call it Cornlandia or Kornheim. And it's very peaceful, it's nice there, it's very flat, there really isn't anything but corn. And also, It's just been very domesticated. It's had hundreds and hundreds of years at this point of being settled by pioneers, white people basically. So it's domesticated, it's very tame. But the thing that I had talked about with my husband was that there are places like that you'll visit, or just other places that might look more natural, but it's not like an original forest. It might have been something that was cut down and at one time, and then now, the government bought the land back, or someone bought the land back and kind of reclaimed it and turned it into like a reclaimed natural prairie, or a reclaimed, revegetated forest, or what have you. So you'll have that, which is great. It's like I am all for taking places and turning them back over to nature to let it have free reign. But it's not the same as whatever was originally there. Out here, there's much more of a sense of longevity. It's much more untouched by human hands. It's not as domesticated. And so, whereas some other places like that you'll go, the land itself needs help. The land needs our help and our healing to restore it. Whereas here, since the land itself is a lot more just healthy and wild and untamed, you're able to have much more of a mutual exchange of energy. I've just been in the best mood since we got here, and not only just because I'm on vacation, so I'm just able to get away from work, get away from the grind, and just relax and have a good time and be outside in nature. But yeah, like the nature itself is just like top tier, top quality nature, you guys. The land has more to give itself. It doesn't really need as much healing from us, this place. It has more to give back to us, which is definitely what I need, because I just, between like work and just stress and day-to-day anxieties, I was definitely kind of reaching like that mental breaking point. It's just been really great to come out here and spend time with the land, because I think even more than working with any specific god or goddess from whatever pantheon, the thing that really first drew me to paganism in general, and what I think brings a lot of people to wanting to be a practicing pagan, even if they never work with a specific deity, is just having that reverence for nature and wanting to show that reverence to nature. When we were on our hike today to Ramona Falls, because I really wanted to go see a waterfall, and luckily this one was not only A, beautiful, but B, really close to our cabin, we also had a great opportunity to have a view of Mount Hood as we were hiking. And I felt like we were going on like Oregon Trail adventure, because at one point you like literally had to ford the river, which luckily it was shallow. There was plenty of like stones and logs where you could hop your way across. So we didn't even have to get wet, luckily. We had this great opportunity to get a fantastic view of Mount Hood on the way to the waterfall. And as I've never seen a mountain before, being from the flatlands, so that was incredible. It just struck me not only with its majesty and its might, especially since Mount Hood is an old dormant volcano, and so it's not really part of a mountain chain. It's just sitting there all by itself, rising up above all of the other hills in the area. It's the only snow-capped mountain peak. It just stands alone and tall above all else. It just struck me with that sense of wonder and awe. As Jacob over at the Wisdom of Odin is often saying, is this not what religion should be? I don't understand how anyone could have looked at that view and that mountain and just thought of it as something ordinary or mundane. It's not just purely mundane. There is such a beauty and energy and spirituality to everything here in Midgard and here in the material plane for us to enjoy. Especially the Vanir are ones that want us to do that, but paganism is just really, for me, more than anything, and what I think I have incorporated into my practice more than anything, and more often than I do give offerings to the gods themselves, I give offerings and want to spend time working with the land and giving my time and energy to the land and the Landvaettir, getting that healing energy back from it in return. Let me show you one thing really quick that we have done here as a way to do that where we're staying. Oh god. So the other great thing about this little piece of property we're staying at for this first half of the trip, there's this little creek running right through our backyard. And so, hopefully you can hear me over it, but one thing that I did the first night we got here was build this little stone tower. There's a specific name for it, and I can't remember what it is right now. There were all these rocks around here and down in the riverbed. So I wanted to just make a little spot back here where this little sitting area already was, because we've been finding ourselves spending a lot of time back here. Sound of the water is very calming. So I made this little stack. I just kind of looked around nearby for loose stones that weren't, kind of really embedded into the dirt, because, that's a little ecosystem in and of itself. There's all kinds of little insect friends and microorganisms that'll be having little homes underneath, like, all these little rocks in here, I'm sure. And so I didn't want to disturb anything that was living under the rocks themselves, but like some of these bigger ones were like already just here, and so I just found some more loose ones and took one or two from like down near the creek bed and just stacked them here and balanced them nicely, which was fun and very meditative and very zen. It was funny because when I came back out later, like this giant green banana slug had immediately like found my little stone tower and was climbing it. So that was hilarious. He was like king of the mountain for a day. We had picked up some food just to have here for ourselves so that we didn't have to go anywhere, and so I just picked out some little choice pieces of fruit from fruit that I had bought and part of my bagel that I had this morning, and we found this little tea light here. So I just brought it out here this morning to give a little offering to the spirits of the little house itself, because it's just a very cute, quaint little house. You can tell that, whoever built it loves and enjoys their time here. And just the creek itself is just so magical and peaceful. I feel like there are fairies and little Kodama forest spirits from Princess Mononoke just living all over this place, and I wanted to just reach out in gratitude and friendship to them. More than anything else, that's what I'm looking to do as a pagan, is just connect with nature and with the land itself, and just show my gratitude and appreciation for it, even in these little ways. And we also bought like a bag of apples at the grocery store we stopped at. So the first night we got here, there were some beautiful, huge trees. You can kind of see them. There's like very mossy trees over there in front of the house. And so I took a little apple out there and just left it for the land spirits as a little token gesture of appreciation for letting us stay here with them for a few days and visit. Well, I hope that I managed to stay relatively on topic and coherent for this spur-of-the-moment, completely unplanned video. Didn't plan to film anything while I was out here, but I really wanted to share this place with you guys and talk about my work with the Landvaettir land spirits, because I haven't really touched on that so much yet in any of my videos. It's mostly just been about like what deities that I've been working with and how I do that, even more often than I give to Freya, Odin, or any other deities that I want to work with or have worked with. I would say that I've probably given offerings to spirits of the land even more so, especially just in the last year. Anytime we've gone on a hike, I would try to bring little offerings to leave under a tree. One of my favorite things to do is I have a lot of seashells left over from just different craft projects that I've done over the years. And so I think it's just kind of fun and quirky and ironic to gift seashells to the trees. I'll bring little shells and leave them under any cool or majestic trees that I come across, because they're like it's like an earth spirit thing. It's a tree. It's gonna be here in this forest for its entire life, and so it doesn't know what the ocean is. It's never gonna be there or see it. So I can kind of give it like a unique little gift of something new that it's never seen before. And I know I'm talking about a tree here. That's part of the wonder of paganism, is that you can have tree friends and give them personalities and names, and go up to other pagans and say, man, do you think that tree over there looks kind of like shifty, or is it just me? And no one will look at you like you're totally crazy. That's part of the fun of it. So that's another thing that I like to do specifically for like land and land spirits. I just thought I would touch on those things really quick and show you some ways that you can do that wherever you are, and that I've just done here on the go where we are right now. So from the beautiful, untamed wilds of the Mount Hood National Forest, this is Amy at Cute Girly Goth wishing you all the best, and stay classy, pagans.